is the ROI, return on investment, for installing pipeBOT in your control room, your oil pipeline control room. The ROI is reduction in human factors. So, here, each of these operations from your control room operator, your startup, your shutdown, your swing, your strip, lowering each of those workloads for your control room operator, so automating it for them. Safety. If you're lowering your control room operator fatigue, you are thereby increasing the safety of your system. The leading cause of safety incidents in pipeline operations is control room operator fatigue. So human error, right? The more you automate that out, the less probability there is for error. Business continuity, right? So you have your 30-year control room operator veteran who knows everything about the system, inside out and backwards. They're retiring next year. You've got, you've had some turnover in your staff. You've got some new people. They've only got like 3-4 years experience. How do you transfer that knowledge from that senior control room operator to your new folks and ensure that when your new folks, us millennials and Gen Zs, we don't like to stay in roles very often, when we move on, that knowledge is captured. You have to automate. pipeBOT will capture that information for you. Revenue generation. I've talked about it before and I'll talk about it again. By increasing the frequency that you're at max rate, you increase the utilization of your pipeline asset, thus increasing your revenue when you're at max rate. Right now, we are not investing in new oil and gas infrastructure. We have to use the infrastructure that we have as efficiently as possible, and therefore automating and increasing the utilization of the assets is the only option. And therefore you get increased revenue for your existing assets, which our clients are loving. Integrity, asset integrity. That is another return on investment by installing pipeBOT in your pipeline control room. Asset integrity, so as you're operating pumps, valves, equipment, there's wear and tear. That's normal, right? You've got your lovely predictive analytics to identify when there could be issues, get out, get those repairs, get that maintenance done. However, when your control room operator is operating these assets, they're trying to just operate, get your max rates, get your throughput, that's their goal. So they may be operating in a way that we call rammy. Pretty funny word, but yeah, so if you're operating rammy and you're kind of just, slamming on pumps because you're just trying to get those rates, you're trying to make those swings, you're actually a bit harder on the equipment than you likely need to be when you're having pressure overshoots, never outside of course, your max level operating pressures, but you have pressure overshoots, you're touching up against your constraints. Those things are tough on the equipment. So pipeBOT, because it's automating how your control room operator does that, you start creating some significant consistency from control room operator to control room operator in how they operate. So what that does is, if you're thinking about let's go with your old commuter versus your sports car, right? Like, your sports car is built to just run fast and get up those speeds and go. You're not going to want to be braking and stopping like you do in your minivan, when you're dropping the kids off to soccer. You want to be running that system, bringing it up smooth, going to your max speeds, and then coming back down. You're going to be a little bit rougher on your commuter, and that you're going to have a lot more maintenance with it. So that's, if you think about pipeBOT and it being applied to a system from an asset integrity standpoint, you want it to be operating nice and smooth at all times because you're going to get more life out of those assets, right? So that's from an asset integrity standpoint, how pipeBOT can help maintain and enhance your asset integrity. A specific example on that as well as swings. Swings are super rough on assets. I know of a swing site in Nebraska for a very large oil pipeline that has some significant cavitation when you're swinging from one leg of the pipeline to the other, right? So the smoother you can make that, the less wear and tear you're going to have on those valves and those pumps, meaning lower probability of leaks. So definitely like high value to put in a software that will automate your control room operator actions, standardizing them, making your operations much smoother. Okay, so that was a lot of input on all of the wonderful benefits of pipeBOT and why you want to install pipeBOT in every single pipeline control room, and why robotic industrial process automation is extremely important with respect to control room operators in heavy industry, and why we need to start automating this stuff. Like, if we're going to be targeting industrial autonomy, we're not going to do it at the equipment. We're going to do it with the people that are actually operating this equipment.